Well, hello and welcome back. I'd like to introduce you to my Pogo stick. This is a 1990s Fun Flyer style airplane. Give you a little history on it. Um, these were pretty popular back in the day for fun fly contests. They loop, roll really well. Um, they fly pretty slow, pretty tame. You pretty much point it and go. They were quick to build, easy to fly for a sport flyer. I picked this one up approximately 8 to 10 years ago at a swap meet out in Iowa City, Iowa. At swap meet there. Believe it or not, I only paid $15 for this airplane. It did have a Fox 40 glow engine on it, two-stroke. Had some very old antiquated servos in it. Bought the upgraded servos at the swap meet. Just some standards in this thing. I don't even remember if it's got high-techs or Futawas. It's been so long since it's been apart. It just runs a 4.8 volt 5-cell battery. It's still on 72 megahertz, and it's my go-to plane. It has been flown probably hundreds of flights since then. Obviously, it has incurred some damage. Got some hole in the covering yet. Tape from this thing's been involved in a mid-air. Obviously survived with believe it or not, a Chaos 40. The guy came in over top of me and hit my prop right here with the leading edge of his wing. That's still the prop. Didn't even change it. The motor upgrade came later. I initially, when I first got it, I went ahead and changed all the servos out because, like I said, it was pretty antiquated stuff in here. I think they had S5 Futaba servos, pretty big, pretty heavy. Went ahead and upgraded it to some better recent stuff. Like I said, I'm pretty sure there's probably some 3004s and 3003 Futabas in there. It's kind of been my go-to for servos on planes like this. Flew it for about a year and a half with the Fox 40 on it that was locked up, but didn't get it running. I don't even have the original engine anymore. Purchased another airplane at not a fun fly, but a yard sale, believe it or not. It was a unidentifiable cub of questionable repairs and stuff done to it, but it had this Magnum 52 4-stroke on it that turned over and looked pretty good, so I tore that airframe apart. Didn't care for the airframe, so it went away. And then I mounted this 52 on here because while the Fox 40 performed really well, it was actually a little too much power for it because these things like to fly slow. And this Magnum 52 has become a good engine to on this plane. I mean, it flies around at quarter to half throttle if you want full throttle, and loops to tighten your loops up and make them a little faster. You can do that. I think this is a 12.6 or Master 12.6. I do believe it's on here for a prop, but it has become increasingly difficult to start. The motor itself is getting wore out, so it's time to do a rebuild. In fact, I'm even missing a screw out there. So I thought I'd bring you along on this journey of rebuilding a four-stroke. Magnums, you can't. Been kind of hit or miss to get parts and availability in the United States for quite a few years. I absolutely love these engines. They're, from what I understand, they're clones of OS motors, so that would explain a lot. They're very torquey motors. So, anyways, before MikeGoesFlying.com, one of my go-to places for nitro stuff, glow plugs and igniters and that sort of stuff, kind of stuff they sell. He was a authorized distributor for Magnum parts for quite a few years. The end of last year, he couldn't obtain Magnum parts anymore. They were completely discontinued, so he had a huge sale off of all the parts left over. So I knew that this motor needed a rebuild, so I went ahead and just ordered a little bit of everything. He had a big sale, so we got, you know, new exhaust valves, new bearings, carb body if I need it. Here's front cam bearings. Here's another bearing. Here's a piston. Here's the pin retainers for the piston. Another pin retainers, 2 of them. There's the intake valve set, very new. Another piston in case I need it. I even got a new crankcase. I think that this is another cane bearing or front bearing. Don't quite remember. I have to look at the part sheet. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and tear this motor off and get going on the disassembly on it. So hopefully you'll join me, and I'll get this thing tore apart. Got all my tools laid out here, and we'll get this thing ready to rock and roll again next year. I'll probably insert, I do have a little bit of footage of this thing flying. That probably could be replaced. Fuel tank's still good. They're pretty simple planes. You can get plans for quite a few of these on the Aerofred. Oh, too small. And too big. I thought this was going to be a good set that I bought. Got my Allen's over here. The ball drivers. Anyways, I thought I'd take this thing apart. It's probably going to need probably going to do at least a ring. We'll see what it looks like when we get it apart. I have to replace that bolt. That is long-winded. There it goes. I think my wood's swollen a little bit over the years. Like I said, this thing has seen some action in its day. I never thought it would last this long, that I'd be restoring something like this. But here we are. That's not yet. Hard to come out. Maybe the wood's just swollen that much from oil fuel. Oh, look at that. There's even in there. Okay, there we go. Actually, not in that bad a shape. Take care of your engines, they'll take care. 5 minutes? Why is there a maximum recording time on my phone now? That is unusual. Anyways, got her apart. I guess we'll film it 5 minutes at a time. A lot of this is probably going to be metric. Hey, they were good for something, right? Wow. Get you in there a little closer. There we go. I don't really follow any disassembly tricks. I just start with the bigger stuff, like let's get the carburetor off. Really curious to see what these valves will look like. And oh, by the way, this is, like I said before, this isn't a running engine. This, get you in here. That's still good. Well, this is still going to be same here. Yeah. This should come apart a lot easier than that Roll 45 did. Speaking of which, I did get some parts for that. I been keeping up on them videos on the Royal 45 that I picked up. That looked like it was in the bottom of the Titanic. Got some new bearings. Got a spare motor from a guy, but we thought that the 46 might be the same, but it is evidently not. So now I gotta wait so I can, like I said in the last video of that, I'm gonna probably end up having to make parts because they're just not out there anymore. But now that I bought bearings for it, now I gotta be able to put it back together. Let's see. And look at that. Still got really good compression. I'm gonna looks like it's got working just fine in there. Maybe it just needs the valves adjusted. I'm still gonna go through it. Look at that. Wash her out of there. it looks awfully gumpy in there. Springs feel alright. Uh-oh. I know in all the years I've owned this motor, it's never been apart. This is how they usually come apart, just get over here where you can, there's some gunk in that motor, or in that bolt hole. I don't know if you can see it or not. Sometimes a little trick I like to do when that happens, get a smaller Allen. Yeah. Dig some of it out. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that bearing. They actually don't feel too bad. Oh why? Just got some rust in it is all. I wonder if there's a timing mark in here. There's one right there. I have to, I don't know if you can see that in there. Probably not. But turning the motor over and looks like there's a little. I'm going to pause it here and get me a light. Oh, I already have one. It's right there. It would be nice to determine which way that dot's supposed to go. Set timing. Might have to do a little research on here. I'm sure there's not the only one that has ever. Usually you get. Let's take the back cover off. I know on my, I can't remember what 4-stroke that was that I rebuilt. Oh, it was a Sato. Sato 91 that I rebuilt. It, a blade, a prop came off, didn't come off, it broke while I was running the engine, and it took out the front bearing. And that was the first 4-stroke engine I'd ever rebuilt. I didn't have to do much to it, just get it down to the case, but on that one it had a little tool that you could use a toothpick for and to line up the cam. But if I remember correctly, you had to go top dead center on the motor. You see, there's top dead center right there. And that cam, cam's pointing straight down, so I would say at top dead center, point goes down. Yep. I'm going to lose you here. Again. That time varies so much. Anyways, let's go ahead and get these out of here. And this is where I like to set things aside. Like get the okay, there's the 4-1, close one. Usually once I start on these 4 strokes, I don't quit. I don't like to stop. There's a rod. This little guy. And now we can pull the head off. Boy, that's being a booger right there. Let's come back to that one. Wow, what in the heck is going on here? I almost wonder if my Allen set ain't a cheap Allen set. It's literally rounding off the edges. I got some Allen metric over here. I guess that wasn't as good of a bargain as I thought those were. There's metric. Maybe. This one doesn't have a whole lot of options in it though. Well. Way too big. Oh, this one. What size is that? That's it. Not marked. That's weird. Nah, I use colors. quite as easy as them other two came apart. Wow. I'm going to hit that on the grinder and see if I can get a better... Ain't very good quality steel, I'll tell you that much, for that grinder just to take that right off. Nope. There that one. Gonna have to invest in some metric hardware, I guess. There it went. I think it's my tool, not my... I have to invest in a better socket Allen set here. I only paid $7 for each one of them. There it goes. Oh, got one more hidden in there. See that? Right there. And that wasn't... Could have been part of my problem right there. Loose head bolt. It would run, but it would wouldn't idle very well. You had to pretty much take off and at a high idle, and but once it warm up, I mean, that does not, I can see where that's not sealing very good. I didn't get it. Paper towel here. I've been running this engine on, basically it started life with 15% Omega, which is a caster synthetic blend of fuels. And then when I started mixing my own fuel, and look at that, look at the inside of that motor. That hardly has any wear to it. That's amazing. Like I said, I'm sure let's see if we can get the liner out. Oh. I think I'll try. There it goes. Oh, that was the piston. Try pushing it out from the bottom, maybe. Interesting. I wonder if there's enough room to... Usually when you pull these out, you gotta take the liner out, see if there's... There ain't enough room to slide it over. I've never had a 4-stroke stick like this before. They don't have any portholes in it like a 2-stroke does. So what do we got going on here? See if I can get in there and nope, that ain't gonna work. Okay. Here's the cam. And where's that dot at that I was telling you guys about? There it is right there. Get some light on the subject. I don't know if you can see that right there. There it is. See that little dot there? That's the timing mark. And it's only on one side. So that tells you what direction the cam goes in. So you can see the dot. Not bad wear on it either, I don't. I mean, she's a little, you can see some marks in it, but I've seen worse. This is one thing that I do not have as a cam. Okay. Anyhow, we know that goes like that. And all I did to get the lifters out, so I push them out with a small Allen. Just kind of go in there like this. And you can push it out. You can see it there. There again, make sure you're keeping orientation. Alright, now that we got done with that fiasco, cleaning some of my crap out of my phone, so I got more data here. I guess I'm going to have to move on to a camera. Alright, where was I? Did we get both of those out? No, we did not. We can get this out of here. There it is. Hole goes to the top. And the flat goes to the cam. Look at that. Alright, next up, this. Wow. I think that would pop right out. You get a real hammer here. Should be one here somewhere. Gonna grab one, bring it over. When I did this, in case I needed to hammer something, and I forgot. Now this is chrome and it's chromed and it's steel. Well, the cylinder liner is in it, so while you don't have to be super careful, you don't want to damage it either. So you don't want to go all, you know, Mike Tyson on it, I guess. Is what I'm saying. There, it just popped. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more. Oh, I felt it. Oh, there we go. That did the trick. I think it's just because it's got oil on it. That's all there is to a 4-stroke. Obviously doesn't need any porting. Looks really good in there. Clean this up a little bit. And this is more of a freshening more than it is a rebuild. And it's, you know, I mean, it's an older engine, so it's going to have some wear in it. But I don't see any heavy scarring. Looks like it's in pretty good shape yet. I don't think I gotta. Then once you do that, move it back to top dead center, and this should come right off like that. There we go. This might have an orientation to it, so this is where you want to pay attention. So, it doesn't look that bad. So this was towards the back. And I thought this would have had two. Holders in it, but this only appears to have one. So that was towards the back. I'll place that like that. And this should pop right up next. Should. I'm going this far, I'm going to at least put main bearings on it. Wonder if it's got a Aceto had a set screw in it. Bearings do not feel good in there. It's starting to move. It might sound like I'm hitting this hard, but I'm not. I'm holding on to the prop thing here so I can spit it out. There it goes. Like I said, on a 4-stroke, which I may think makes it a little easier to rebuild. This guy, it's just got a cotter key in it. So I'm gonna pull the cotter key out. That should come right out. Nope. So there again, just a little guy here. Half moon. We'll have to remember the orientation of that. See the flat spot? It's pointing on the other end. That flat spot goes towards the back. Don't want to lose him. Want to protect your threads. I don't have a crank either. Yeah. He's coming. Might be a bit of a tight fit. There it goes. Yeah. She's got some gunk in there, but overall it's not too bad. I think this is just going to be pretty much take apart. Put some new bearings in there. I wonder what the hole's for. Huh. Must be to lubricate that rear bearing, probably. I mean, none of this looks like it's in very bad shape for the amount of wear this motor's got on it. Like I said before, I think my camera cut out. You know, if you take care of your glow engines, they will definitely take care of you. Don't run them overly lean. You know, run a good fuel oil mix. Don't be scared to throw some extra oil at your fuels. I personally run 17% in everything. That front bearing don't feel, rear bearing don't feel bad. And then this is a sealed bearing. And while it looks crunchy in there, it's not bad. This ain't bad at all. This ain't gonna require near the parts. Let's see if it's probably too big. Usually what I do is get my torch out, my little propane torch here. I'll shoot you up here so you can see what I'm doing. There you go. A little heat in here. This won't hurt this one bit. Just keep it moving. Remember, it doesn't take long to heat aluminum up. You can't hold on to the rear part of this engine like this. It's too hot. There, I start to feel it. Yeah, it should be moving. Turn it on. And the other one is right here. This one, you might want to grab a pair of pliers. This is usually the fun one. This is usually the one where you can just set it down and it'll fall out. I don't know why. Let's see. Gonna be stubborn. Alright. I think I'll make this a two-part series. That's probably a little warm there yet. I hear you, Tom, laughing in the background. Ooh, that's warm too. Let's see what these things look like. That is sealed on both sides. Very interesting. A sealed bearing. I don't know that I like that. Let's see what came in the new kit here. It's sealed also. On both sides. I bet that was our runnability problem.